listening to the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast on love, marriage, and personal development. Our purpose is to inspire and equip you with knowledge and skills to enable you to have lasting and fulfilling relationships. Now your host, Joshua Mulgrew.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and your personal development. And once again, it's me, your host, Dr. Joshua Mulgrew, and as I like to say, call me Uncle Josh. I hope you enjoyed the last episodes that we have. This is a new series we are starting. It's going to be a 3-part series and then followed by another 2-part series. It's about faithfulness. Funny thing. But anyway, take a moment right now. Please like this, share it, leave a comment. Please recommend us to someone, because the truth is, as you recommend us to people, that is how more people come on board to be able to enjoy the Marriage Clinic podcast. All right. So you might be wondering, what is the topic for this week, or what is the topic for the new series? Topic is very simple. It is called, How Can a Man Remain Faithful to One Woman? How can a man remain faithful to one woman? You see, I hear this all the time where people say things like, Uncle Josh, a man cannot be with only one woman. A man is made for many women. We hear that. Then we hear this erroneous biblical analogy where they say, well, David married a lot of women. Abraham married more than one wife. And all these people had multiple wives. So that shows that a man cannot live with one woman. Then we also hear the biological argument where people say, well, based on biology and based on our ability to reproduce, one man can impregnate thousands of women in a year, but a woman can only be pregnant for one man. So it shows that men have the right to be promiscuous or to live with more than one woman. That's fine. I mean, I have arguments to debunk all of that, and we understand that even from the biblical perspective, if you want to see God's original will, you must look at the first mention. And when God mentions man for the first time, he does not mention Adam and Eve and Eva and Evelyn and Edwina. He places it Adam and Eve. Even when God wanted to fill the entire planet, he still positioned it one man, one wife. I could go on and talk about the biological and the social and everything. But here, for this series, I'm speaking to men who want to be faithful to their wives, who don't want to be cheating on their wives, or men who are dating their girlfriends and want to be faithful to their girlfriends. In their minds, they want to be monogamous. If you want to be a traditional African and want to have multiple wives, this series may not be for you. But if you are looking for tips and skills on how to be able to remain with one woman, which is not the easiest thing to do, then share it. And ladies, please share it with your guys. It will help them learn to be with one person. Let's go. So number 1, the first tip, I'm going to share 15 tips. Probably today I'm going to speak about 3 or 4, and then next week I will try to finish up with the rest. So let's remember this. I'm going to give you 15 tips. Number 1, recognize that not all men cheat. You understand? We've been given this notion as men that every man cheats. And there are even women who believe that you can't be married to a man who will not cheat. But here is the truth. Not every man cheats. And in order to be a man who is faithful to one woman, you must first of all recognize that there are men out there who have never cheated on their wives. There are men who have been married for 60 years, men who have been married for 30 years, 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. I nearly said 100. I don't know anyone who's been married for 100, but there are men who have been married for several decades, and not even once have they stepped out on their wives. For that reason, you should understand, now I'm a person of faith, you should understand that God will not ask you to do something that is impossible. So recognize that not all men cheat, and you need to look for positive role models that will affirm that theory in your mind. If you keep looking at people who are cheating, you'll say everybody is cheating. But if you keep looking for people who are not cheating, you will find them. Let me give you this example. If I said to you, green car or a green Honda or a green Toyota, if you went on the street right now and you started looking for a green Toyota, you'll be surprised how many green Toyota cars are out there. However, until you are looking for it, you do not see it. If you go out there and you are looking for a lady in high heels, all of a sudden you begin to see a lady in high heels everywhere. If you are looking for an ice cream seller, all of a sudden you begin to notice ice cream sellers. So you need to recognize that not all men cheat, and look out for men who are not cheating and are faithful to their wives, and look to them as role models in order to do what you need to do. So number one, recognize that not all men cheat. Number two, if you want to be the kind of man who remains faithful to one woman, you must desire to be faithful for the benefits that come along with being faithful. You need to ask yourself, you need to ask yourself, what are the benefits of being faithful to one woman? And do I want to see that in my life? Emotionally, men who live with one woman all their lives are more emotionally stable. You don't have to worry about what you said to who, and you don't have to worry if you've picked up an infection from here. You don't have to worry how you are going to get money to support this one and the story you are going to tell to this person and so on. So emotionally, you are more stable. Health-wise, you are more healthy having one partner. Mental health and physical health. Why? I don't need to tell you the number of diseases you have stand a chance of getting by having multiple sexual partners. And when I counsel ladies who have a cheating husband, it's amazing how many sexual infections they need to be treating because their husband is going out. So you can imagine what the men are also having to treat. Because you are not being faithful to your wife. Why do you think your side chick will be faithful to you? So there is the health benefit. Then there's the wealth benefit. You are able to consolidate your income and the money that comes your way when you remain with one woman. But remember that the ladies out there that are dating you, if you choose to be promiscuous, are not dating you because of your good looks. Because let's be frank, you are not that good looking. So it's a transactional relationship. You want sex, they want money, they want school fees, they want rent, you want sex and someone who will treat you good. So you need to understand that there are benefits to remaining with one woman. There are spiritual benefits. Your relationship with God, the cleanliness of your spirit. I could list more than. And then the last one I'll talk about, these are the benefits that you look at to inspire you to want to stay with one woman. The last one I'll talk about is honor and respect. Whether we like it or not, people's respect for you comes down once they know that you are not honoring the promise you made to your wife. Or you are not honoring the promise you made to your girlfriend. Because once you start dating someone and you say, this relationship is between you and I, as a man of honor, you should keep your word. You stood before God and you swore that forsaking all others, this is the person you want to be with, and you should honor it. So these are reasons why, or these are benefits of loving and being faithful to one woman. All right? This is the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and your personal development. Please do share this with people. I'm talking about the benefits of being faithful to one woman. People tell me, Uncle Josh, it's not possible for a man to be faithful to one woman, but I am here today telling you that it is possible. Next week, I'm going to continue. There are 15 tips I'm going to give you. Next week, I am going to give you the rest. This is where we say goodbye. We'll be back with Ask Uncle Josh. So today's question is interesting. I'm sure it's a lady who sent this in, but the person is trying to mask herself. She says, Uncle Josh, do we have a particular person who is your Mr. or Mrs. Right? Do we have a particular person who is your Mr. or Mrs. Right? Because of time, I'll give you a very short answer. Mr. and Mrs. Right are dead. They are dead. They are buried. They are in the grave. There's no Mrs. Right and there's no Mr. Right. But there's a pool of people that you would do better married to. All right? The Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. It doesn't say he who finds the wife. The wife means there's a specific. Now, if you believe that there's only one Mr. Right for you, how about people who lose their spouses and remarry? Okay, how about those who get divorced and remarry? So you need to understand that there are some kinds of people, I suspect it's a lady, there are some kinds of men that are good for you. What you need to know is know your temperament, know what you want out of life, where you are going in life, and when you meet men that suit it, go ahead. And if probably you're asking this question because you are in a relationship and you want to break up and you're afraid, if I leave him, I'll not find someone like him. It's a lie. You'll find someone like him. So go ahead and leave him. Anyway, so this has been the Marriage Clinic podcast, a podcast about love, marriage, and personal development. And it has been your very lovely Uncle Josh that has been here with you. Keep spreading the word. Keep sharing with people. Let's get this information out here. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.